step into the beat, yeah, we're feeling so iconic. Glitter in the air and the vibes are supersonic. Queens in the house, got the world in our hand. We tearing up the scene with those Halston plans.
Oh my God. Hey, you guys. Welcome to Hanging With The Halstons. I'm Vanity Halston.
And I'm Norma Levi.
And we are here at the 111. We're filming live the podcast right in front of our audience right here. Oh my God. I don't want to be egotistical, but I need to be referred to going forward as Saint Vanity Halston. I don't know if you are aware, but you know the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence?
Of course.
Okay.
Legendary, help our community.
Yeah, they're wonderful. It's a wonderful organization. But last night they had a huge event here. And it was a great turnout, and we had a really good time. But they sainted me last night for being somebody who's very proactive in the community and does a lot of help and things like that. So, Saint Vanity.
A girl
Halston.
with a skirt that short is now a saint. Wow.
How do you think I got to be a
that's
saint?
it.
Yeah,
The old-fashioned way.
passing around the cookies.
How did they saint you? Did they like knight you a little bit? Like, did they use a sex toy, a sword?
No,
what
it was very
wand?
it was very Christian. And they didn't even touch me, actually. Like,
that's not very Christian then.
well, yeah, I guess not. But it was really, really nice. And so
Just one more title to add.
just one more
Now,
title to
saint.
add to my belt.
Yeah, I know you didn't watch Game of Thrones, but in Game of Thrones, there's the character Khaleesi, and she has like all of these like titles that she grabs throughout the series that they introduce her as. That's how they should do for you now.
I like that.
How many crowns have you won in your
2?
2? What were they?
So the first, because I don't do contests, I don't do pageants, I don't like them. Like I just do
Showcase.
I just do shows.
Yeah.
But the first contest I ever entered was the Miss Gay Teen USA pageant. It was in 1999.
And we still qualified?
Well,
No, I was asking. I don't know.
you are going to get cut. This bitch. So no, yeah,
We fudged
I
it?
won Miss Gay Teen Orange County in 1999, and I am still reigning Miss Gay Teen Orange County because they've never had another one since.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Oh, current reigning.
So
How
I am
fabulous.
the current reigning Miss Gay Teen Orange County.
Wow. You should put that in your Insta bio. You'll get a whole
You know
new fan
what? I
base.
want to say that it's in like my drag bio, I think. But and then in 2017 or 2016 or 2017, I did Queen of the Desert here, and I won that.
Ooh, tell me all the locals you beat for that title. Tommy?
No, Tommy actually I think won the year before.
Yeah.
Who was competing that year with me? Honestly, I don't remember that year.
She only remembers herself.
But-
she had no interactions backstage.
But they asked me to come back the next year and compete again.
Why?
I don't think they had enough people.
Oh.
And so they asked me to come back. And so I did come back, and I lost, I think, by 2 points. Yeah. So the person
To who?
to Lola, P.S. Lola, Palm Springs Lola.
Cute.
But here's the thing: she deserved to win. She had competed in that contest every single year since they started it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And never placed. But when it comes to a pillar of the community, let me tell you, P.S. Lola was a pillar in the community. She was a very big advocate for HIV and AIDS. She was a very big advocate for trans rights. She was a very big advocate for homosexual rights. And so, I mean, she deserved it. She deserved it. And so I'm really, really glad that she actually took the crown that year. Yeah.
That's fabulous. I've only won one crown, the one you gave me.
Oh
yeah, but-
well, that was your first year, though.
Yeah, that was it. But now, no, I don't want to say. But now I've been asked to compete in other things in the desert, and I was like, No, I already won something. I'm not competing again.
Yeah.
Not in the desert. I would do it in another city to be like to make entryway, like in San Diego or Long Beach. Not LA. You don't really make good money in LA.
No.
But in Long Beach or San Diego, I would do a contest to just like get myself out there.
One, and I think that like, you know, I think contests are really good. But see, when you started, like when you entered my contest, Drag Star Challenge, you had never done a show before.
No, it was my first time performing in drag. Night one was night one of the contest.
And like, but look how far you've come in just like a year.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what
been
I
like a
mean?
year and a half of drag, but it's also been a year and a half of nonstop drag. Like when I went home for Christmas this year,
Yeah.
it was the longest time I hadn't done drag since I started doing drag.
Yeah.
So
You know, and I think you should be so very proud of what you've done, though,
thank
honestly. Because you really have accomplished a lot. You have your own show now.
yeah,
Which a lot of people are bitter about.
I have two here,
You do have two here.
Yeah.
That's right.
and then one
You-
somewhere else. Yeah,
Yeah.
So what's
Where?
that? I play bingo and trivia every
Oh.
Friday, a happy hour at the Arrive Hotel for the guests there and whatever locals want to come. It's a fun
Well,
time.
that's
I love
sweet.
it. You know, and I also do it with the old people. Do you ever, living out the senior
Yes.
gay community
Yes.
here in Palm Springs?
Yes.
I go in there and play bingo with them too.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's
I'm-
a great facility.
Yeah. Oh, are you
I
telling
should
me
be
that
so
because you
lucky.
think I'm going to be there one day with the old people?
Oh,
playing
not
bingo?
yet. I say I know.
Yeah,
I
okay.
would say Miss Teen 99 is not there yet, but
She's
she
getting
could
there.
schedule a tour. She could just take a tour, see if she likes it or not.
Where is that? Where is the
It's
outside living? What is it called?
Living Out. It's on
Living Out.
Baristo and Taco.
I was close.
Yeah, it's not far from the airport. It's
Okay.
like that area.
Oh, I don't live far then. Actually, neither do you. Oh, we're neighbors.
Yes, we
I
are.
always forget about that. We live literally around the corner.
That's
from each
because
other.
Vanity doesn't do the apps, to her credit. I know all my neighbors because I see them on the grid every day. I'm like, oh, it's like I knew another drag queen lived by me. She was like, oh, we live near each other. I was like, yeah, I know. I see your face on the yellow Facebook every day. Like, duh, we live near each
Yeah,
other.
no, I'm not on any of the apps.
Yeah, no.
Well, you know,
She gets her trade the old-fashioned way. The alley.
begging,
Yeah.
begging. Please eat me.
So, yeah, it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Girl.
Okay, let me tell you. Last night was a lot of fun, you know, with the sisters show.
Yeah.
But there was one sister who kept clacking her fan the whole time.
As part of her number, or
No,
just
no, no,
like
no. Just in the
response?
audience.
Okay.
And let me tell you, I know that some of you gays have decided that clack fans are a more appropriate way of applauding than your hands, but it's not. It's not.
It's winter. Those hands are chapped. The fan just
No.
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 Okay.
No. But here's the thing. But they do it all the time though. It's like even when it's like not an applause, like they're just and they always want to like clack to the beat, but they're never on the beat. It's always just like a step behind
There's
or
a lot of
step-
white people in Palm Springs.
Kind of, there's a lot of white people in Palm Springs. But let me tell you, I just want to take them and be like, no. Like, you know how you talk to a dog when they pee in the room?
Yeah.
I want to do the same thing to people who have a clack fan.
But would you rather hear the sound of a clack fan as a performer than see? I always thought like this was so cute and like cunty.
No,
But
that's
as a
not.
performer, you're like, this makes no noise. Everything else, like this is something you have to see in the second.
Oh, I said that.
Everything
Yeah, I know
else
I
you
said
need,
that
like,
once before about one of the
noise
other
of it.
performers. Because he used to come in here all the time and be like,
Oh, sorry. For the
Wait.
people who are listening to this, we're doing like that finger.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I forgot. The people are just gonna hear this. We're doing that like finger thing from like Legendary. That oh my God, what was her name? She was so fabulous. Yeah, Nomi would do. Naomi. Yeah,
Naomi?
No.
Is that what it is?
it's Naomi.
Naomi.
Yeah. Naomi.
What was they from Pose?
No, from Legendary, which
Oh,
was like
Legendary.
Drag Race, but for the ballroom houses, and they
Oh.
competed. And she was the only one that actually came from ballroom. She was gorgeous, and her critiques were the only one that mattered. And LaRoche was in it, the stylist, and then the girl from The Good Place randomly, and then Keke Palmer replaced somebody. Oh, Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion was great on that too. It's a good show, but HBO pulled it. You can't even stream it anymore.
Why?
I don't know. Trump's America. Who knows?
Okay, real quick.
That's not again.
You know, years ago, they tried to reboot the Munsters.
Oh.
And let me tell you, they only did one episode, the pilot episode, and it was so absolutely incredible. It was.
Was it Kristen Johnson from Third Rock from the Sun? Was she Lily?
Nope.
No, who was
but
Lily?
It was Portia de Rossi as Lily. Portia de Rossi as Lily.
Jerry O'Connell was.
O'Connell.
I know this one.
Was
Herman.
Herman. Eddie Izzard
Was Grandpa.
who is now Susie Izzard.
Yes.
Susie Izzard was Grandpa. Let me tell you, it was the pilot episode. They had it on ABC, and they had it on. You can stream just that one episode. When I tell you, it was such a good show, and it was such a good episode. I literally wrote into ABC and was like, "Don't pull it." Yeah.
I wonder why the
It
gays
didn't
love
work.
the Munsters so much. I wonder if it's like that outsider thing, and also they're like Lily's so glamorous, like Morticia. I wonder if that's why as kids like we gravitated. So many gay people love the Munsters
Yeah.
and the Addams Family, and I wonder if it's because that feeling of otherness that we didn't tap into quite.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, when you talk about writing a letter, I did that for Good Christian Bitches, GCB
Oh,
with Kristen
yes.
Chenoweth. That was the best show that never got a second season.
I know because
Should we-
all the Christians
Well,
complained
they didn't
about
like-
it.
Well, yeah, they don't like being laughed at. Should we talk about actual current events?
Oh, sure.
All right,
Yes.
What do we have in your?
Okay. Now
notes?
we're in a different America now, and my question is, okay, so Trump announced there's only two genders now, right?
That it starts as
conception.
an embryo. Yeah.
So everybody's like, oh, we're all female. Okay,
Yeah.
well, good luck with that argument. But here's the thing: the fact that he's like male or female, there's nothing in between. You are what you are at birth or conception, whatever. How do you think Caitlyn Jenner feels?
Because she supports this.
Because she's a diehard Republican. She's a Trump supporter, and now he's literally telling her you don't exist, and she was such a staunch.
I feel like there's
Supporter.
a lot of Trump supporters with buyer's remorse right now, like that suddenly don't feel like they're part of the fold that they did during the election cycle. Like,
Here's the thing. I hope so. I hope that they feel out of place, and I hope they feel like they made the bad decision. I do. I hope they do. I hope they have
it's
remorse.
a decision that has a future, that we're all able to look back on it and be like, oh, that was terrible, but now we're past it. And not, he's trying to seek a third term.
No, I know.
No, I was like, we don't need this. That's a red flag.
Here's the
It's
thing.
time to
Here's the
get
thing.
out.
I said it a long time ago that if he gets back in the presidency, I firmly believe he will probably be our last president.
Oy, that's
I
so
do.
scary.
I think that because he said it his first term. He said it his first term, and he even said that when he gets put back in the White House, we will never have to have another election. He said it.
Do you think you'll be one of the aunties who trains the handmaids, or like, what do you think you'll do?
Oh,
in the
no.
In the new thing.
No. I'm gonna be the first one on the wall.
You're out. You're gone.
I'm already out. Let me tell you, because I had my tubes tied, and so I can't. I'm already there. I'm already negative in their book. No, but I think it's gonna be. I'm really hoping that this is just a dream that we're all gonna wake up from, and Hillary was actually president
All this
8
time.
years ago,
Like Bob
and then we
Newhart?
were just like in a. Have you seen The Matrix when he like wakes up in that bubble or whatever that thing is? I'm hoping that that's what happens. That we just all wake up one day. We're like in a tomb.
Well, if people believe in like multiple dimensions, kind of
Yes.
like everything everywhere all at once, so then there
Yes.
is a version of all of us that live in that reality.
I'm ready for that reality.
We're in this one.
We're in this one. And you know what? I think that maybe this is like we are here to learn a lesson, but I think that with the way things are going, we won't be reincarnated because there's going to be nothing to come back to,
Yeah,
but whatever.
that's-
But like it's kind of like the Mandala Effect. Like I want to hope that later on we remember that time, but like everybody remembers it, but it never happened.
What is your example of that? Like, I thought it was, what is it, Flintstones? I thought it was Flintstones. Because there's certain things that...
The Bernstein Bears,
The Bernstein Bears,
Bears, but it's the Berenstein Bears, right?
Yes.
And so, but also Ed McMahon and the Home Shopping Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yeah, I remember that. That's not real?
No.
Wait, who did it?
So apparently you cannot find any correlation with Ed McMahon and the Publishers Clearinghouse.
No, wait, there is, because on the Golden Girls, there's an episode where Blanche gives the girl a check from a closed Christmas account, and she said that the bank would sooner cash a check, a home check by Ed McMahon. So then it must have been something, because they're referencing on the Golden Girls.
Yeah, no, there's no actual.
Well, they didn't scrub the Matrix enough then, because it's on the Golden Girls.
I think
I know it all.
Maybe that's why we think it was Ed McMahon, because it was said on the Golden Girls.
Who was it actually?
No.
Some random. Oh, okay, well.
But they like his people even put out a statement saying he was on what? He was on Roseanne too.
Yeah. See, everyone has their favorite shows, and Ed McMahon appears. It was
But apparently he in real life had nothing to do with
that's wild.
with the company. And we all remember his face on the envelopes that showed up at our house, but that was never a thing, apparently.
I'm gonna Google this later. I can't believe that.
And Jiffy peanut butter
Yeah.
was never Jiffy peanut butter.
What was it?
Jif. It's always been Jif. It's never been Jiffy peanut butter.
No, I mean that feels wrong too, because then back when the GIFs first came onto the internet, and people were having the whole is it GIF or is it Jif debate, when people would be like, oh, it's Jif like the peanut butter, but no one said that. You know what I'm saying? No.
I don't know what.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry.
But yeah, I mean, but it was the same. That's the thing. Is there like another one that you guys can remember? Like the cornucopia for the Fruity Looms. That was the cornucopia was never a part of the logo, but we all remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Are you tripping out right now? Yeah. Because it was, but there's no evidence of it apparently. I don't know. I'm just hoping that we wake up and this is a whole nother reality that we're in. You know, I'm okay.
Talk about Elon Musk, but Elon Musk, before he was this guy, had given an interview where he said it is more likely that we are living in a simulation than that we are not, just like science-wise, math-wise. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But maybe it's like San Junipero. Maybe we chose this, and now, we're here.
No, I don't know.
Like I never chose this.
I don't think we would. I don't think I would have chose this.
I would chose what, to dress up as a drag, to be in drag in paradise and get paid for it and be adored. Like, this is fabulous. This is the dream.
Well, you're brand new. Yeah.
That's Honey Davenport always says that to me when I'm like,
you're brand new at this. So
I'll go out and take a picture with absolutely everybody. I'll ask you where you're from, get your whole life story. Honey's like, you can tell you're still new in drag. She was like, I don't want to take a picture. Oh, no, sorry, honey. But she was like, I don't want to take pictures. I don't want to get to know. She was like, that's something you grow out of.
Yeah, it is. It is. Because I don't know how long Honey's been doing shows.
Like 15 years or
15? Okay, see, I'm
Maybe
longer than
longer,
so I'm
yeah.
more jaded than she is. I'm 28 years.
But she cut her teeth in New York City, so you really had to like the step on top of each other to survive.
Yeah, and I think when I started, like, there wasn't a whole lot of, I mean, there was a lot of queens and a lot of, representation, but there wasn't, it wasn't as big as it is now.
Who was your biggest rival when you were coming up? Who was the girl you were like, I don't want to be booked at the same show she is? Or
I've never said that.
Don't put me next to her.
I've never said once, I don't want to be booked with this person or that person, because I've had plenty of people say that about me. But I've never said that about anybody else because I've never wanted anyone to say she's so difficult to work with that she won't work with these people. And I've never had that big of a problem with anybody. There's a lot of people who I work with to this day that I do not like and cannot stand. But
And this is how you tell me in front of an audience? How fucking dare you?
but at the same time, I'm like, baby, I'm here to do a job. You're not going to cut in my money. You know, I'm here to pay my bills. I'm here to pay my, you know, my rent. I'm here to eat. You're not going to stop me from that.
I love that when I went with you when you filmed the Delta Work podcast,
yeah.
Very Delta.
Yeah.
And you talked about how there was like a 10-year span or something where you and Delta were a package deal. If you're booking one, you're booking two. And I told Cherry, I was like, wouldn't that be fun?
So
But then,
Delta Work and I, so I started hosting my own shows in 2000. And then by 2001, Delta and I were like best friends. And so she was my regular cast member. But we were doing so many shows together that it just became a package thing. Like, you didn't book Vanity without Delta. You didn't book Delta without Vanity. And all of the venues in California knew that. And so they booked us together. Or if they didn't book us together, we would bring the other one and give that person.
In drag?
Yeah. So like if I was booked and Delta wasn't, I would bring Delta with me and she would do one of my numbers in replace of me.
Oh, that is so generous.
So that way, the person who didn't want to book her could see her, and they booked her next time.
Wow, that is
And
so
then
generous.
and she did the same thing with me.
Wow.
So but that's the way it was back then. You know, it's not like that so much anymore. But that's I would say a good 10, 12 years. Like, you did not see Vanity without Delta or Delta without Vanity. It wasn't a thing.
That's amazing. That loyalty, that friendship. How cute.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, we were friends.
Yeah.
You know, and we were partners in crime together.
Would you do duets?
We did do duets.
What duets would you and Delta do?
Well, her and I did.
Taint Nobody's Business from Black and Blue?
No.
I could see you both doing that.
No, what we
Especially
did,
in the 90s.
We did
early
do
2000s.
The Apple Doesn't Fall from the Tree.
Who was Liza in that pair?
I was Liza.
Okay.
You know, because she looked older.
She was Cheetah.
She was Cheetah. I was Liza.
And this is when you were still big, too.
I
No?
I was thin then.
Oh.
Like I was still tiny then. And I
Listeners
had
of the pod know she had the
best.
gastric.
I had the best ass when I was younger. It was so fucking good. Let me tell you,
That's how you won that Miss Teen pageant, I bet.
honey.
I bet.
So I never, like, people would always be like, "Oh my God, your ass, your ass, your ass," and I never realized what I looked like until I saw a VHS of myself a year ago.
That's worse than saying Teen 1999. Keep going. Tell us about your VHS porn. Come on.
And so it was a show. It was one of my shows, and I was watching it, and I was like, "Oh my God, is that what I looked like?" And let me tell you, it was so. I mean, it was just shelf. It was so beautiful, and then as I got heavier in life, it got bigger with me. And then when I had surgery and I lost all the weight, it just fell. It gave up. And a once nice ripe peach has now gone rotten and is just now
It's like
hanging
a
there.
balloon on day 4 where it's just kind of it's kind of floating, but it's kind of not. Yeah.
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 Yeah, just looking for a power line to take it out of its misery.
Maybe.
But like it was so nice, and I didn't realize it because people always thought I was padded or I was pumped. You know, because
You don't wear any.
I don't wear-
You don't even wear tuck pennies.
I know. I'm sorry. This is a little high. I hope this camera can't see that. But I had one person. I was at the bar waiting for a drink, and this guy came up and bent down and bit my ass because he thought I was wearing pads. And he bit me so hard I had a welt for a month.
Did you go home with him?
No.
Oh.
No, I turned around and
don't-
I slapped him.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. First of all, you don't touch anybody that who you don't have permission with. But back in the day,
was a different day.
Everything was allowed back then. We smoked in bars back then.
Were people so handsy with the queens back then?
Yeah.
Was it a different kind of thing?
Yeah. They were very handsy, but not in a disrespectful way. Really, it was more
in a playful way.
Yeah, I would think so. But I mean, there was one time Delta and we just finished the show, and there was this obnoxious queen who kept pulling on the back of her hair, thinking it was funny. And let me tell you, I have never in my life seen Delta get more butch in my entire life, because she kept saying, "Don't do it again. Don't do it again." And this person did it again. She turned around, grabbed him by the throat, and lifted him off
Allegedly.
the ground. No, not allegedly. It happened. It's on security camera. But she lifted him up off the ground and said, "I told you not to touch me." And she put him down, and she kept on walking, and then we got drunk. But I mean,
don't touch anyone's hair when
don't
they're
touch
in drag.
don't touch
That's like
anybody's hair.
Yeah, touch our body, like who cares? It's all fake. But like
Well,
the hair
mine's
is
not
so
fake.
The parts of it.
Parts of it are fake.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the hair is such like don't do it unless you're fixing it. Unless it's like a sister of yours. You're like, oh, come here,
Yeah.
baby. Yeah. We'll do it during the next commercial.
Yeah, okay. Oh my God. All right, you guys, we're gonna take a quick little break, and we'll be right back with Norma's Head Rush.
Yes.
Hanging with the Halstons, you know it's a show. Laughing and spinning, let the good times flow. Every story snatched, every tea is hot. In the glam zone, baby, give it all you got.
Hey guys, welcome back to Hanging with the Halstons. I'm here with Norma Lee High, and we are gonna get right into Norma's Head Rush. Norma,
All right, let's talk about
what's in the headlines?
Let's talk about some headlines. The first one tonight. Have you heard the rumor?
I have not actually.
Oh my! I couldn't believe it. My college text thread was lighting up. There is a rumor circulating that Jennifer Aniston and Barack Obama are having an affair. Yes, it's so crazy. But let me lay out some conspiracy case for you here. So the theory is, Megyn Kelly. She's like some Republican girl. She has a talk show. She's been reporting it like it's 9/11. She is reporting it full out. So that's like she's given legitimacy to something that was like a TikTok rumor. But the rumor is that Obama and Aniston are having an affair. There's a leaked DM from a friend of hers that was talking about it. But it's like a leaked DM from a friend. It's not even from her account or his. But the thing that is suspicious, the thing that's a little sus, Michelle Obama did not attend President Carter's funeral. She was the only first lady not in attendance. She did not attend the inauguration. It is a little bit like, where in the world is Michelle Obama? And so maybe she's mad at him. Maybe she's like, listen, if you're going to be hooking up with Rachel from Friends, I'm not going to have to sit next to Hillary and Melania. I'm not doing it.
Let me tell you why I think this is absolute BS. Because not even I would cheat on Michelle Obama. Let me tell you, if I, as gay as I am, if I had the chance with Michelle Obama, trust me, I would lock it down, and I would keep it locked down. She would have me locked down. There's no way.
Now, as a hussy who's no stranger to home wrecking, if you let me that close to Barack, I'd be like, listen,
No,
is there wiggle room here?
100%.
Is there wiggle room?
Okay, maybe that is true.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I would also, dabble in the Obama.
Right. She had a whole haircut named after her.
Who?
The Rachel. It was like the biggest haircut of the 90s.
I never watched Friends.
Oh, my God, Vanity.
I
What
never
is your
watched
life? You've never
Friends.
watched Friends. You don't use sex apps. How do you keep busy? This is why you make all your own clothes. That's what you put everything into.
I don't. Okay, so I don't. I never watched Friends. But here's the thing. There's a lot of other shows that I've never watched either, or movies. I've never watched Mean Girls.
But you've seen the gay classics like Steel Magnolias. And
Oh yeah, I've seen
Tu
Steel
Wong
Magnolias.
Fu and
Tu Wong
Priscilla.
Fu, Priscilla.
Birdcage.
Birdcage,
Okay, yeah,
absolutely.
we're doing all those. Okay.
But I've never.
Trick?
Trick.
With Coco Peru. And
Yes.
Yeah, and the two boys that
Yeah,
meet
yeah.
on Pride.
I've seen that once.
Yeah. You only need it once. Tori Spelling's in it.
Oh yeah,
She's
I
like
know.
the hag. Yeah.
She's the hag.
She's like the I don't know if you could say it anymore. What do they call? What's the? I would say fruit fly. Yeah.
Fruit
I was like, what does Gen
fly.
Z call it? Because I know we used to call it. All right, let's move on from Obama. I kind of hope it's true. Let's see. Oh, y'all, Heklina. Did you hear about this?
No, I did hear about this.
So, for those who aren't familiar with the legendary drag queen Heklina, she is a pioneer in the San Francisco community and the drag community at large. Like, truly a trailblazer who did it before Drag Race. She's like Coco or Varla and these people who made lives for themselves without the TV show helping them. She passed away while she was in the UK on tour. And 2 years later, the UK police have released that photo, and they were like, if you know these three people, we would like to question them in the death of Heklina. They all were leaving her flat the night she died. And it was like, wait, this is the first time you're saying there was foul play. It's 2 years later, and you're asking if anyone's seen these people 2 years ago? What?
Okay, so here's like the frustration around this whole thing, is that she was on tour with one of her best friends, Peaches Christ, and they were doing Mommy Queerest out in the UK. Now, Peaches Christ was asleep in the same flat and had no idea three men were in the flat at the same time.
I mean, I'm the kind of girl who would host while my friend is asleep in the
100.
flat. But
100%. but so
God.
when Peaches,
so it was foul play.
well, we found out now that it
Wow.
could be, but then again, we don't know if it was foul play. It could have happened after, it could have been whatever. But Peaches posted this, and then along with Heklina's power of attorney, Nancy French.
Yes.
And people are like all over the two of them, like, well, if you knew this was 2 years ago, why didn't you say anything? It was like, no. They didn't know this 2 years ago. Peaches was like, I didn't know that three people were in my flat at the same time. Like, I didn't know. And so now these things are coming to light, but 2 years later, it's too late. You know, like,
How are you going to find these suspects 2 years later? Well, we'll see.
we'll see.
That's
but I
crazy.
mean, here's the thing. At least something has come about it, because there's been so much speculation, but also like secretiveness to the whole thing, that like, you know, at least this might bring some closure, because I mean, Peaches was there. You know, Peaches, as far as I know, is the one who found Heklina the next day.
She did. She posted.
And so the fact that there's no closure for Peaches, and there's no explanations, and there's no, huh?
And Tammy especially.
And and so it's just, you know what? I'm glad they released it, but let me tell you, UK, get your shit together.
Get together.
2 years later,
Oh, this is not
Come
broad
on
church at
now.
all. They
Come
had
on.
that solved so quick. No.
huh? Okay, yes.
that too.
Yeah, so Scotland Yard is notorious for not liking queer people, and so this is just one example of, I think they were getting pressured.
You can go online to the post on Facebook, and Nancy Friends put their names, and you can put complaints in for the
Oh wow.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
crazy,
Shocking.
crazy.
All right,
But you know
what-
what, though? I'm glad somebody is doing something.
There's movement on the case finally.
Yeah.
Too little,
Okay.
too late, but finally. All right, what's our next
going
headline?
on?
Oh, all right. Let me just. I live for the Housewives. It's the only thing I care about outside of drag.
Never seen it.
We're gonna. I know you haven't. So I'm gonna just take you through it real quick. On the Real Housewives of New Jersey, which is where I'm from, my home state, Teresa Giudice has been famous since she flipped a table and called someone a prostitution whore. They are about to. Yeah, there's a casting notice. They're rebooting the whole thing. They didn't tell the women they were rebooting the whole thing, but there's a casting notice floating around New Jersey. So now all the women know they're without a job. Drama. On
Wait a minute, though. Is it still being filmed right now?
no, they've taken a break because last season was so toxic. So they put them on pause. Another Housewives thing is that on Beverly Hills, there's a rumor that Kyle Richards is finally leaving, and in her place, Lisa Vanderpump will come back, which is great for the fans of that show. Yes, applause, absolutely. And then I would love to do this with a bunch of drag queens, but we'd have to record it. This is what will go viral. On The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, on the finale, all the women sat in a table, and they said, we need to put our past behind us. Everyone take out your cell phone and pull up the nastiest thing you've ever texted someone about someone at the table, and you're going to hand your phone and they're going to read it out loud. And they all read the most horrible text message possible about themselves, and it was the best thing I've ever seen. I was like, I want the Drag Race reunions to start doing that. I want fucking traders to start doing that. I want everybody to start reading the worst text possible you send about your co-stars. I live. It was
First of all, why do you keep those on your phone? I delete, honey, let me tell you, I delete that.
You talk shit and then
immediately.
delete? You're like, no.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. If they found your phone, they're like, Vanity, what a saint Vanity. Never said a bad word about any queen in town. Look at that. How clean, how pristine.
But send me a shitty message and let me tell you, it is screenshotted and it's archived.
Well, I sent you, we'll get to her later, but when I sent you the Joella video, I was like, I didn't hear from you, but then I know you passed it on. So I was like, oh, she liked that.
Honey, let me tell you. I don't keep any of that on my phone. Not in the messages. I mean, I screenshot it and then I hide it away for safekeeping. Yeah. So if 2 years later I can pull it up.
You can pull up your receipts?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm like a housewife in that way, to where I'm not going to bring it up right then, but I'm going to wait until the opportunity comes, and then I'm going to bring it up years later.
What astrological sign are you?
I'm a Gemini.
Oh, that makes sense. There we are. There we are.
But I'm also Italian.
Yeah, that too.
And then I'm also a drag queen.
So all the grudges,
Let me tell
every
you,
grudge ever.
I am just every negative check mark you can imagine in a relationship or friendship, really. Just saying.
All
Okay,
right.
go on.
What's on next? Yeah, all the Oscar nominations came out this week. Have you seen Amelia Perez? Have you heard about this movie?
No.
So I haven't seen it either. It's super polarizing. It's a musical about a drug cartel kingpin that transitions, and Zoe Saldana helps facilitate the transition. Is that Zoe Saldana? No, is that her name? Yeah. Okay. Helps facilitate the transition, and it's a musical somehow. And and it got the most Oscar nominations. In second place was Wicked, but Wicked didn't get director, so he's been snubbed for every award show. The shade of it. But yeah, that's basically it. People are saying that Zoe is committing category theft because she's actually the lead of Amelia Perez, but she's going under featured so that she could win, kind of like how Olivia Colman did for that movie, The Favorite.
But how does that work? How does she have a choice in that?
Because you work with the studio.
apply?
Yeah, you submit a certain way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that's how it worked.
Yeah.
So technically, anybody could apply or try or enter any category, and if they are chosen.
Yes, there are a few rules that apply. For example, if your name's above the title, you're automatic. You can't try to go under supporting with your name above the title. Oh, okay. But otherwise, yeah.
Well, I'm out. My name is usually above the title.
All right, and our last thing, I know you want to talk about it. Let's get to her.
I want to
Our
talk
little
about
mattress
this.
friend. Yo, for the people just listening, we just posted a photo of Joella on the last episode of Drag Race when she went home dressed as a huge mattress with her face cut out. God help her. But you know what? She's on Drag Race. She's fine. She's living.
Real quick.
All right, but I know you have. So when
hold on.
Joella finally went home, her exit line was, "Oh, she's taking off her rings. She's literally, she is taking off her rings and her earrings because she's ready to fight the people who are just listening and not watching." So as Joella exits the show, this international platform, she says, "Well, at least I didn't die a local queen."
Will you bring me my Vaseline?
I was like,
Okay. Let's get into this. Joella, this is a personal message. How fucking dare you? When you, like every other drag race person, has to contact the bars and the promoters to get bookings, like every drag race contestant in history has had to do, I hope not one person will give you a booking who is a local queen. I do. Because how dare you? This was your chance to stand up for those who have never gotten the opportunity to be on the show, and instead you said to the entire world that you are not in it for anybody but your fucking self. And let me tell you, as somebody who has tried to make sure that everybody has a chance and everybody has a spot, I hope you never get the opportunity to be on the stage, because you'll never be on a stage with me. That is one person who I will never work with, ever, because she has shown time and time again, even before Drag Race. I knew her before Drag Race, and she was just as egotistical, and she was just as backstabbing as she is right now. But the thing is, she had more personality on the show than I've ever seen her have in actual real life.
Well, a line like that really discredits the work people do. For 28 years, you've been a local queen. Faith Michaels, you know her? She runs like Key West. She is a local queen of but these local queens is what keeps drag going and what keeps the art form and brings in new people.
Because guess what? If it wasn't for the local queens keeping the shows going, you wouldn't have a show to work in when you get hired to come into whatever venue you're coming into. And let me tell you, you will never work in any of the venues that I work in, ever, because you have blatantly and blissfully disrespected every single queen who's never been on the show, either by choice or by chance they've never been on the show. Let me tell you, no.
The other part of it too is like the Drag Race girls, especially after they're on their show, they just kind of cycle through cities as they tour. But it's local queens like P.S. Lola who make a difference in their community and raise money for the community and show up for the community in ways that girls who are just touring through for the weekend are not going to do in any of those communities.
Here's the thing. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? And hope you never see me. Because I'm going to tell you face to face just what a disrespectful person you are, period.
And that's on period. All right, that was the end of Head Rush. Let's take a break, and we'll be back with some viral clips that Vanity found for us to watch.
Hanging with the Halstons, you know it's a show. Laughing and spinning, let the good times flow. Every story snatched, every tea is hot. In the glam zone, baby, give it all you got.
We're back. Okay. Hey, you guys, and welcome back to Hanging with the Halstons. And right now, I want to show you and introduce Norma to some of my favorite entertainers. And these are clips that I pulled from Instagram. Now,
I've not seen these yet, so this will be fresh. Yeah.
So there's two entertainers, but there's a few videos. So in Provincetown and in Puerto Vallarta, there's an amazing queen named Sutton Lee Seymour.
Oh, yeah, it's the famous Broadway queen.
Now,
from the East Coast.
Sutton Lee Seymour, yes. And so she sings live, she does drag, but she is really amazing at these like parodies and all these different voices and things like that. Well, right now she's touring with a Wizard of Oz themed show. So she comes out as all of the witches.
Wow.
So this clip we're about to see is one of her opening numbers as the witch when they're still in the black and white.
When she's Miss Gulch.
Miss Gulch?
Yes. Miss Gulch is the Wicked Witch in the black and white.
So this is Sutton Lee Seymour opening her show.
All right.
She takes the face of Cinderella by scaring all your children. And Judy, she got all the praise. America forgot. done. I'll choose them for just one. Who's that wicked witch? Actress Margaret Hamilton.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, it's a Hamilton parody. I
It
love
is.
it.
It is. Okay, so let me tell you, Sutton Lee Seymour is a brilliant singer, and from what I understand, there's Robbie Turner. Robbie Turner?
Yeah,
Not
she's-
Robbie Turner.
No, who?
Paige Turner.
Paige Turner, yeah. Robbie Turner was on Drag Race.
Yeah, you know, not
From
Robbie
Seattle.
Turner.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna edit that. Hold on.
From
So
what
from
you
what
understand.
I understand,
Yes.
there's another queen who sings live and does all these like cabaret shows named Paige Turner in New York, and that's how they started. Was she started doing shows with Paige Turner, and so now she's like a huge thing. She's a huge deal, and I've been trying to get her here, but she's so booked up and like, you know, scheduled everywhere. Like, I mean, she's selling out these like huge places.
I feel like it's also like Billy Lamore vibes. Like taking parodies of Broadway songs that you
Let me
know
tell
the
you,
audience is gonna love.
Billy Lamore.
and
If you
sing
don't
it.
know who Billy Lamore is,
What a
you know what?
singer.
I'm gonna show her videos next week. Maybe we'll get her to come in and be the
Oh
guest.
yeah, she'd be great.
But let me tell you, Billy Lamore is an amazing singer. She lives here in the desert as well as Los Angeles, and she writes her own like parodies. But her voice is so, it's so
It is
good.
Theater professional quality voice.
Yeah.
In Broadway songs, you know, in hysterical parody lyrics that she creates.
And let me tell you, oh, there she is.
No way. Ah!
She's gonna hate we showed this.
She go like this. What you showed?
That track.
He fell backwards onto the stage. Are you trying to cross your legs?
I just tried to cross my legs, but I realized in order to do that at my height, I literally was like laying back like fucking driving dirty. No, I guess I'll just do it this way.
That was the best thing ever.
Sorry,
was
people just
so
listening, but it was
good.
not it.
Oh my God.
Girl, it didn't work.
Have you ever? Never mind. I'm not even. Okay,
outta
let's.
here.
Okay.
In your-
Anyway,
in your hoochie
Billy
skirt,
Lamore.
you're gonna come
I know.
for me.
Well, listen, I'm not trying to cross my legs, even though I
Yeah.
probably should. So Billy Lamore and we've done two woman shows together where we sing live the whole show, and we come up with these parodies and these like, you know, loose choreography that we do. But I'm a firm believer that she only asked me to be in the show with her so that way I can make her sound better.
I mean, I'm glad you said it. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, her voice is way superior to mine. She has a very Broadway.
But you have a
voice.
rock voice.
I
You have a
very-
rock
I have
country
a very
voice, and she's a
rockabilly-
Broadway voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we complement each other very, very well. But she's one of my favorite people to work with, and she's one of my favorite people to watch entertain.
And her wigs are incredible.
Well, she has her
She's
own
an
wig
artist,
company.
yeah.
Billy Lamore Wigs. Look it up on Etsy or Instagram or any of that.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, she's wonderful.
Is it?
She's great. Okay.
All right, what was the other video you want to show?
Okay, so when I first started, well, look at me. I'm going to tell you about it
Well, I was
first.
looking at the- yeah.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Uh,
Okay, so when I started doing shows, there was one drag queen who, let me tell you, could dance around any queen, like just dance circles around queens. And,
and she died a local queen.
Huh? Yes, she will die local. She's still alive.
Okay.
But her name was Dolly Levi.
Yes.
And let me tell you, if you don't know who Dolly Levi is, you are missing out. I hope that I think is 66 or 67 years old. And when I tell you, she still does the can and high kicks all the way up. So I have a couple videos of her actually dancing.
Let's see it.
And let me tell you, I hope to be half the entertainer at that age that she is now. But this right here will floor you at 66 years old. Right here. Let me tell you.
I've always wanted to do the can, but I'm not a dancer.
No,
I love the dress.
You just open the can.
Maybe that.
That's it. But anyway,
That was
so Dolly
amazing.
Levi is one of my, like, when somebody asked me a couple weeks ago, like, who I look up to in drag, Dolly Levi is absolutely one of those people for me.
Do you see yourself performing at 66?
I hope not. I hope not.
What do you plan to be doing? Using one of your master's degrees.
I mean, if I'm not using my master's degree now, like, I'm not gonna be using them then either. But I don't know where I'm gonna be when I'm 66. Like, I hope I'm still like running my theater. I hope I'm still running musicals. I hope I'm still running shows. Maybe I'll own my own show bar.
Cute.
I don't know. Where do you think you're gonna be
Dead.
at 66?
The amount I smoke, dead. I smoke all day, every day. These lungs are not going to last another 30 years. I'd have to make huge life changes.
Are you
to
only
be
36?
I'm 39.
You're
Close enough.
okay, yeah, 39, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little more like it.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Miss T99. Questionable. Yeah. I want to see proof. I want to see a middle school yearbook and a high school yearbook, and I want to make sure the dates line
Well,
up.
I dropped out of middle school, so there's no proof of me in any yearbook. You know that.
Yeah, that's true.
Talked about it last week.
Well. I feel like you would lie to the DMV too, so there's no even.
Oh, I absolutely lied to the DMV. Absolutely. You don't look at my weight. My driver's license weight is my goal.
Oh,
like
girl.
that is so like.
Do you keep clothes? I have a bag of clothes that I wore. I used to be this, when I lived in New York, I was so skinny, and then I moved to California, and I was like bear. But I still have clothes from New York that were like some of my favorite skinny clothes that I keep just in case. Like just in case there's another COVID and I get it, and then suddenly I'm at my goal weight.
No, not at all. Not at all. Okay, so like for the longest time I had 195 on my driver's license, but I was 300 pounds. And then
What did they do if you got pulled over?
Listen, it's not my fault.
You'd be like, did you eat this person?
Listen.
Are you in charge of them? What were they gonna do?
Okay, but here's the thing. So listen, it's not my fault if the DMV allows me to put that weight on there. Listen, DMV.
The DMV lets me say that I shouldn't drive without glasses. So they did make all kinds of mistakes.
I know, but here's the thing. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. If you saw my paperwork, it said 195, but you know by looking at me that is not the case, then that is up to you to change it. I don't work there. That's not my job.
Can you imagine if the DMV started confronting people about
my
their weight?
Job,
They're like,
my job is an illusion.
Yeah.
So why is my driver's license any different? Like,
do you show up in shapewear? You were like, this 195.
Do you watch Family Guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the episode where he was too fat to get on the roller coaster? So he fucking corseted himself to get on the roller coaster, and then it exploded, and all these people died on the roller coaster. Like,
I was once at an amusement park with someone we know that wasn't allowed on the roller coaster because it couldn't hook. We'll talk about it on the break.
it wasn't you.
Not reporting at Miss Cherry. Oh, not reporting at my Delta work. Oh my goodness.
Okay, but listen. Okay, so
shade.
195 was my driver's license weight, right? And then I had gastric bypass, and I got down to 195.
And then now you're 170?
Now my license says 175.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's
That's a goal.
my goal. I'm just trying to get down to my kindergarten weight. That's it.
Baby.
Of 175.
All right,
Oh my
this is
God.
not about the videos, but it's hard to ask you. I thought Veronica might be here because at least she could kind of pull trade. You have full-on acrylic, so it's not like you're fooling somebody for too long. But the whole point is, last week I was here and I was trying to break up a relationship. I've given up on that.
Oh, you were trying to break a relationship last week.
But now I've given up on that.
Oh,
now I'm
you've
on
seen the
to
light?
well, no, I met somebody else. So now I'm on to this boy that I met who's really cute, and we've hung out. And I'm like, at what point do you introduce also my career is drag into it? I feel like third date. That's when straight people have sex. I feel like that's when gay people could be like, hey, listen, I cross dress for money.
I don't know.
But you
I
have
don't
nails.
know.
How long are you able to keep them from knowing? They'll be like, what do you
So,
do?
okay, so here's the thing. But things are different now.
Yeah.
Things are different now from what I've heard compared to years ago. Years ago, I mean, I've gone months without telling somebody that I did drag. But I didn't always have the acrylics.
You didn't have the Crocs, yeah.
No. But I've gone months without telling people I did drag, though, because, like, gay men, at least when I was in, the dating world, they didn't want to date somebody who did drag. They didn't want to.
Not even a teen pageant holder?
No.
Not even that?
You know what? You're lucky I already paid you for tonight. Otherwise. So, no. Here's the thing. You are a absolute bitch.
Keep going. So they didn't want to date.
Okay, so here's the thing. So back in the day, gay men did not want to date or sleep with somebody who did drag. Even hooking up. Like if they knew you did drag, honey, they want nothing to do with that. Because even though you weren't in drag, I guess the thought of you being in drag was a turnoff. And so, I mean, now this is going to be very hypocritical of me, but I don't want to date anybody who does drag. I know I know, I'm one of those. But here's
I
the
feel
thing.
like Drag Race has changed my mind about that. There have been so many people I've been attracted to on RuPaul's Drag Race that it makes me more attracted to the people, even locally, more than I would have before.
No.
Okay. Well,
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. But from what I understand from like friends who are in the dating world, that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, because they all are like, oh, I'm going to date this person. They're going to go on Drag Race. So I'm going to tour the world. Like, no.
Yeah. But maybe that's what some people think. I don't really know. But I just, but I guess now, gay men are more open to it, I guess because it's more accessible, maybe it's more visible, maybe it's not as taboo as it was since Drag Race did a lot of good things for the drag community, but also it has also hindered a lot of us.
No,
in a lot
because
of
then
ways
you
as
have people
well,
like
but-
Joella who's like, I didn't die local queen because Drag Race is the pinnacle, but it also takes away from people like Coco Peru or Jim Bailey. Think about what Jim Bailey did to appear on all of those talk shows for our parents as Barbara and as Judy and Betty Davis. And it's like, what about those people?
But also, back in the day, I mean, so Danny LaRue was from the UK, and was a huge drag superstar. But everyone thought he was straight because he was not allowed to tell people that he was gay, and that his husband was just his manager.
Very Barry Manilow.
Totally. But that back then you couldn't tell them, because if you did tell them, then you would be completely canceled. It was cancel culture has been around forever and ever. Straight people do it, gay people do it, all whatever. But if he were to say that, hey, this is my gay lover, he would have never been booked on another show. So he was just a straight man who was impersonating women.
Same mood. That's gonna be my new Instagram bio.
You are the woman.
Maybe
But
like impersonating
I
question mark.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing: if the person who you are seeing doesn't know that you do drag, they're under a rock, and maybe you need to evaluate who you're seeing, because you are a very prevalent person in the community, whether you're in drag or out of drag. Everybody knows who you are. So if this person doesn't know who you are,
I know. I thought about that before. I was like, "Oh, come meet up with me and my friends at Hunters." And I was like, "They're all gonna call me Norma the whole time." But we'll figure it out.
okay, so here's
Yeah.
the thing. I once went on a date with somebody, and we went out to dinner, and then he said, "Well, what are you doing afterwards?" And I said, "Well, I'm gonna go. It's my friend's birthday, so we're gonna go and to a nightclub and whatever." And he said, "Oh, well, you know, I was hoping we could hang out." I said, "Well, you're more than welcome to come with us if you would like." He's like, "Well, I would like to go," because we really hit it off. And I said, "Okay, but listen," and this was date number 1.
Yeah.
Okay,
Truth
and
time
this was in, yeah. So, anyways, I said, "Okay, now listen, you're gonna meet my friends, but they're all gonna call me a different name. They're all gonna call me Vanity, and this is why they're gonna call me Vanity."
Oh wow, date 1.
Well, I mean,
Did he still go to the second location with you?
He did.
Well,
He
what a
did
gentleman.
Come, he did come, and that was probably. I think he tried to continue seeing me, but he couldn't get past the drag part. So I think we lasted like 2 more dates, and then it just never happened after that.
You know, it's so fun.
So-
I've had boyfriends. I came out very early, so I've had boyfriends since high school, and I've always had boyfriends like back to back to back to back. Since starting drag, that's not
Yeah.
the moral of the story.
Yeah, we know that.
Since starting drag, I haven't dated at all because a part of me is like, I need to focus on the drag, but also I'm like, it's just such a different, like to share that part with somebody else who's going to and be fully in it. It's like, that's a lot.
It is a lot. I mean, you're a lot to ask for.
Goodbye.
I mean, you're a lot to take
Because
in.
you know she's busy. That's why it's a
She's-
lot. It's a lot of gigs to go to.
So which goes back to my original statement that if this person doesn't know who you are, then they're either
they're new to town.
one-
They moved here not too long ago.
are they new to town?
You know, she snatches them right out of the
The
you
womb?
know, yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Not that young.
But I feel like even if you're new to town, how new?
I think he's lived here like 4 months or 5 months.
He knows who you are.
Good.
He knows who you are.
Well, we'll see. Maybe
I can-
some people don't put together out of drag and to drag.
One of
Not always.
now listen.
Bitch, I'm
Now-
I'm like a drag cloud. It's not like I'm
No,
doing the
listen,
natural
you're,
look
You're
like
not
Miss
a
Cherry.
chameleon. You're not a chameleon.
Get out of here.
I feel like one of 2 things is happening. Maybe one of 3 things is happening.
Okay.
It's either maybe he genuinely does not know because maybe he doesn't go out.
Maybe.
He's a hermit. Or he knows about you but doesn't care, so hasn't brought it up.
Cute.
Or he does know about you but is waiting for you to tell him what it is.
Well, we'll see.
See? Either way, it's not going to last. So, I mean, who cares?
Well,
Right?
it's Palm Springs.
Either
It's not gonna,
way.
yeah.
Anyways, we're going to be right back with our very special guest coming up next. Hang around. Bye.
Thank you.
Hanging with the Halstons, you know it's a show. Laughing and spinning, let the good times flow. Every story snatched, every tea is hot. In the glam zone, baby, give it all you got.
Hey guys, welcome back to Hanging with the Halstons. We are here with our very special guest, Saeed Saliba, right here.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello.
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Now, those of you who don't know who Saeed is, which would be all of you, he is a personal chef, and he is starting his own business. And you are also one of the featured chefs on NBC here in the
NBC
desert
Palm
here.
Springs, yes.
Yep.
The section is called Delectables with Saeed, and the program is called The Desert Brew.
The desert what?
Brew.
Blue.
Yeah.
Brew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brew.
With my accent, this is how it sounds.
I love the accent. Yeah.
So you're from Lebanon,
Yes,
right?
I'm Lebanese, and I've been here for almost 5 years now. And yeah, I started cooking since I came. And I opened my own business 2019. And yeah, I've been doing personal gigs. Norma have been with me in one of them.
It was so fun. Yes. It was
And
great.
because some people will want like seated, plated dinners. And recently I started suggesting why not having a drag queen who's been helping me. And the first one who came in mind was you actually, but you had your show.
So you got second best.
No, let's not go there.
He was worried about, workplace violations at your age, serving, performing. But you know what? It's fine because I just, a younger girl, she showed up. It was fine. It was fine.
Oh my God.
So that's why Norma was with me actually. And it turned out that, funny thing, one of the guests that we were serving was in a magazine, and then he interviewed me and asked me about Norma.
Wow.
And I saw him taking notes. I don't know if you figured, if you remember.
No, I didn't even notice.
But he was taking notes, and I'm like, why is this one taking notes?
He doesn't cast Drag Race?
I don't know.
Well, damn.
And I'm like...
Well, I mean, I take
Damn.
notes too,
Man,
not while
I'm
you're
not
cooking.
I go through and I'm just like,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not when you have a chef and he's cooking for you and you're like.
No, she's saying
on
she
your
takes
phone
notes
and
while
taking
I'm there
notes
taking
and whatever.
notes. What Lebanese dish do you eat when you want to feel like home? Like, what is your favorite? Taste of
Actually, my mom used to make. Until this day, by the way, I always have a pasta dish ready at the house. So I make my own sauce. The pasta, I will buy it because at the end it will taste like the sauce. But there's the pasta with ground beef and crushed tomatoes. My mom used to make this when we come back home from school on Fridays. So I will make it exactly the way she does. So it reminds me a lot of her, and every time I make it, I will take a picture and send it to her.
Like a Lebanese bolognese.
Exactly, and we use a lot of pine nuts, the roasted pine nuts, and you put it on top. So yeah, that reminds me a lot of her.
What meal do you make that makes you think of America? That you're like, this is so American. Burger? Steak?
I'm gonna go with the sweets because I've been watching a lot of series since I was in Lebanon, talking about Friends and everything. By the way, the Rachel cut was very known in Lebanon.
Huge.
A lot.
That's why, yeah.
And all my colleagues at school were like, oh, we're having the Rachel cut. So, talking
Obama couldn't
about
help
that, the cheesecake is very famous in the US, and
Oh.
baklava is very famous in Lebanon. So I made my own recipe of baklava cheesecake, and I'm sure a lot of you here have tried it. So,
and if you haven't,
He's available for your private parties. Do you do private parties from 2 to 10? What is your?
no, I can handle any party from 25 people and less because I'm by myself,
Yeah.
or someone will be helping me. But yeah, this is for now until I grow my business step by step.
Have you ever cooked like a romantic dinner for two and just like
I
you?
did that.
Oh,
I
nice.
did that. Yes. Yeah.
Do you feel like
Yeah.
a third wheel, or you're like, this is so
no,
sweet?
Usually, you will be surprised for what I've been asked for.
They
for
invited you in.
lot
It was a
of
third.
things.
They were like, do you want to join? They asked you to
But I'm
join.
like-
they're
I
like,
will-
wait a minute, is it not a Saeed dessert?
No.
They were like a taste of Lebanon. I'm confused about what I ordered.
But I will, in some like this, they will be like, you can like set it up and leave, or I will be serving, and then after the dessert, I'll be like, thank you guys, we'll talk later, bye-bye, and I will show myself out.
While they're getting busy over your dessuts. Whatever.
I have no idea. I leave no spots.
Oh, yeah, neither do
I'm
we.
like Vanity. Oh. What do you judge people when you go in their kitchens? What's like the thing you judge people most when you're in their kitchen about?
The knives. Especially if someone will tell me like, I cook every day. How can you cook every day and your knife cannot cut anything?
You don't bring your own knives to these things?
I do bring
Oh,
my
yeah.
own
Oh.
knives. That's why I usually, because here in Palm Springs, most of the people will come and will be renting Airbnbs or stuff like that. So it's not their own kitchen. So that's why my thing is to go a day before, and I don't charge for that, just to see what's in the kitchen. And after that, I will take whatever it takes, but I will always travel with my knives and spices. But the dinner that we had, they couldn't have us over a day before so I can check, but they were like, we cooked, everything is fine, don't worry about it, whatever. We were there. After an hour and a half, the water wasn't boiling for me to make the pasta. And I started panicking, and I started like, should I go home, make the pasta, and come back? Norma, can you please do a number, do something, entertain them? And they were like, oh, last night we were having problems with the oven. Like, didn't you think about mentioning that while I'm the personal chef there?
Was it an electric stove?
No, actually, it wasn't. But when they contacted the landlord or whatever, he told them what to do, and then we figured it out. But it took the water to boil an hour and a half. And I started panicking, and the main dish was pasta, and the sauce I had to make it a day before because it has to simmer like for 5 hours. And I'm like, how about you just have the sauce with some meatballs? That's it.
Okay, so here's the question that is like, I think the most important question that we're going to ask you tonight. Do you prefer electric stoves or gas stoves?
Gas.
Gas. Okay, yes.
Gas.
So when I moved to Oklahoma,
Yes.
they don't have gas stoves in
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how am I supposed to turn my tortillas over a flame
Yeah.
if there's no flame?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying.
And that's
That's,
why.
that's the most important question I have. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Go.
No, I don't know. Where were we?
I don't know.
Who inspired Who inspired you to cook? Like, did you learn with your
my
mom, your grandma?
My mom. Actually, it happened when. So I was applying to UCLA, and then I was stuck in the US because of COVID, and the airport was closed. And my mom has a ritual that on our birthdays, and until this day, even we are not there with her, she will get a cake or make a cake, and we will cut it on WhatsApp video or something. So it was her birthday, and I'm like, how about I will make you something? And she's like, you've never been in the kitchen before. How can you make me anything? And I'm like, just send me the recipe of the tiramisu and I'll make it. So that's why until this day, I make the tiramisu my way, not the original way, because I don't like to use raw eggs. And that was the first thing I made, actually. It was for her birthday.
And you just like developed a passion for cooking from like that moment on?
Until that day, this was like a connection between us. I will open WhatsApp call, and she will teach me how to do stuff, and she will be like, don't do it like this, do it like that, or whatever. And that's how I was like, okay. And until this day, my recipes are from like the old traditional way, but I will decorate it my way. So I use authentic recipes with like spices that I bring with me from my travels. And then the plating and everything is my touch that I do for the plates.
Okay. That's
So
amazing.
my mom is actually my inspiration.
What do you find strange about the American palate?
Most of American people, and don't get me wrong and don't be offended, are afraid to use spices.
Oh, yeah.
And even now when I'm on TV, and
talk about
even
white
the
people.
hosts with
No,
me,
not me, baby.
No,
I
not Vanity.
I over-season
Talk
mine.
about the white people.
like even the hosts with me, sometimes I will say white pepper, and he was like, there is something called white pepper. I'm like, that's the basic. Like, that's something
Well,
really
yeah,
basic.
it's called, but in America it's called salt. I'm kidding. Okay, first of all, I've never heard of white pepper.
Yeah.
But I know pepper. I know garlic.
I'm sure
I know
you tried it
Lawry's.
because you tried a lot of my meals.
Yeah.
So there is white pepper in it.
I've
but
never even heard of
the
that.
thing that they are always open to try. This is something good. But yeah, something that the American people don't do a lot is seasoning.
I've seen a lot of TikToks of people trying to cook in their kitchen, and I'm like, baby, not even a whisper of garlic salt. Not like, come on now. Like,
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that's it.
so what was it? What was it like growing up in Lebanon, and how is it different from being here in the United States now?
Growing up in Lebanon is, we've been affected a lot by everything. First of all, Lebanon was under the French mandate for a long time. So everyone there is influenced by the French community, and we all speak French. Even my grandma, who's never been to school,
Can you speak
speaks
some French
French.
for us?
Je peux parler en français. Ma mère était un prof de français. this is what I said,
Really?
that
That's
my
the fir-
mom,
I feel like
my
in
mom was a
America,
French
you're so
teacher
hot.
herself, so my first language wasn't Arabic, it was French.
Oh wow.
Now, not only are you a chef, but you're also an interior designer.
Actually,
right?
I'm an interior architect. That's
Architect,
That's
yes.
my master's degree, and that's why I said I use my architecture skills in plating. So
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
And so, having because you have your master's in interior architect, what do you see you developing that? Do you see us doing more with that? Do you see yourself going more into like the food realm, or?
I'm gonna be honest. I have 2 degrees: interior architecture and advertising and marketing. I didn't choose either of those, and I was an A student in both. I found my passion in food, and I give it now all to food. I didn't give up on either of those. And I was a teacher as well for 8 years, and I made my own curriculum as well. So if I can find something part-time in teaching architecture, let's say, because I love interacting with kids, I love building their personalities, and this was what I taught, speech, communication, and debate. So if I can do this and have my own restaurant, let's say, or food business, that will be my ideal goal.
Okay. So for somebody who loves to eat, but doesn't always cook, or know how to cook, or have a desire to cook.
Same.
Actually, I forgot my entire questioning.
What can you make?
I
What's a
had
simple
it-
thing for you to make?
I had a whole, I had a direction that I was going in. So what do you
Nope. No.
so you were a teacher.
Yes.
So have you ever thought about having like classes or like
Cooking
workshops in
Yes.
in certain things that are like maybe a Lebanese dish or a Lebanese dessert?
Or like, if you
it's like-
did in October how to cook a Thanksgiving meal, it's a class you could take in October and use in November.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, now, after being on NBC Palm Springs, I had a lot of people reaching out and asking me if I have any classes to teach, because what I try to do on the 4 minutes that I have is to give all the, instructions for a full meal. And for 4 minutes, it's difficult, especially with the editing. So I'm trying my best to always give like hints, always give like instructions. We have to ask, I think he's been watching a lot of my episodes, so I always try to give it all. And this is something I'm trying to do. I have to figure out the location, so then I can teach like the basic of cooking or something like this. That could be something nice.
Because there are some restaurants or some chefs that will do like they'll do like a sushi
Seminar.
rolling
Yeah.
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 like party.
Yes.
You know where
Even on my Instagram, and I always put the instructions and I teach, and a lot of people will, actually 2 of the people we met here on one of your shows on Fridays, they follow me on Instagram and they ask me questions, and I make sure to always get back to them and then send me the picture how it turned out. And I will be happy to see that I was influencing them to be in the kitchen and to try something new. So you should do it.
no.
She's not trying anything new. Not in
You know,
2025.
no. Listen, I have no problem eating.
I know.
Yeah.
I've been calling you to pass by and try some food.
I know, but I'm busy and
I had your
don't have time.
tiramisu. It was wonderful. And the food with the party. That was
Yeah,
great.
Yeah. Oh, I made sure to make her a plate of everything that was at the party.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. I mean, I
Yeah.
got nothing. I'm the one who recommended you,
Yeah.
but it's fine. Anyways, Saeed, thank you so much for being here with
Thank
us today.
you.
We
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
for having me.
Check him out on Instagram. We will post his links up
Chef
there,
Saeed.
and we will see you in just a little bit. Be
Thank
right
you.
back. Bye bye.
Step into the beat, yeah, we're feeling so iconic. Glitter in the air and the vibes are supersonic. Queens in the house, got the world in our hand. We tearing up the scene with those Halston plans. Swat that lip gloss, pop those lashes high. Living for the moment under neon sky. Podcast blazing loud, gotta catch that train. Speak your mind, honey. feel the rain. Hanging with the Halstons, you know it's a show. Laughing and spinning, let the good times flow. Every story snatched, every tea is hot. In the glam zone, baby, give it all you got. Echoes in the club, microphone to the soul. We ain't just talking, honey, we're on a roll. Clink that champagne, let's toast the night. Drag power rising, feeling out of sight. Strutting down the lane where the lights never dim. Glitters like stardust, fans adore the whim. Different shades and colors making hearts combust. When you're with the Halstons, in glitter we trust. Hanging with the Halstons, you know it's a show. Laughing and spinning, let the good times flow. Every story snatched, every tea is hot. In the glam zone, baby, give it all you got. Hanging with the Halstons, you know it's a show. Laughing and spinning, let the good times flow. Every story snatched, every tea is hot. In the glam zone, baby, give it all you got.